And we've got a question in the chat. What do I think about the max length stakers from Goat Farmer? Aren't I still one? I am. I've got multiple maximum length stakes. Now they are smaller quantities of hex than my shorter term stakes because, like you just said, Zenith, like if a currency continues to be debased, if inflation continues at the rate it's been going, I don't think crypto is going anywhere. I think it's still going to be here in 15 years. I think people, just like me, there's enough people locked in for those 15 years that we're still going to be around talking about this. So even if hex just holds its value steady, right, compared to the depreciating dollar, it's still a better place to hold my money than the dollar, right? Obviously, the volatility is incredibly high, especially in the early days of coins. We've seen that in hex. It's like down from the top a whole bunch, but a lot of people didn't buy the absolute top. They bought somewhere in the middle, and hopefully dollar cost averaging the way down as well. And as long as, again, like this, imagine hex is only 50 cents in 10 years, right? Only 50 cents in 10 years. It's probably still going to outperform any stock and almost certainly outperform just holding the dollar. Like saving money in dollars today is basically losing money. So yeah, I'm still a delusional believer, guys. I'm still a delusional 555er. Time will tell if that ends up being a good decision or if that's just lost in history.
I had a really good conversation with Axis and Crispy about this. I think it was last week what it was. But it's the idea that the Quattro Cinco stakes, is it theoretically hard, like mentally, to get yourself to do it? Yeah, sure, because it's so long, you don't know what the price is going to do. There's a lot of ifs, there's a lot of buts. But at the end of the day, those are the people that are really going to preserve their stay in T-shares the best and the longest. Because if you look at the supply of T-shares over time, it's only going to go down. And also, at the same time, the hex rewards per T-share is only going to go up more and more. So if you can have the discipline to maintain some Quattro Cinco stakes, theoretically, you're going to have a very, very good chunk of the T-shares that are out there. Not like the pure number of hex tokens, but the T-shares that are locked up that will pay out. A bit of a shout out to Crypto Kool-Aid. He's the one that really popularized this idea for me, which is that the use case for hex is the T-shares. It is the staking. If you are not interacting with the contract in that way, what you are doing is you are opening yourself up to some degree of inflation that is similar to the fiat currency that you've been trying to escape, especially if you plan on holding liquid. If you plan on holding T-shares, you're good. You're safe. You've escaped that rat race and you're good to go. If you're very short-term holding liquid, that makes sense as well because you have to have liquid to make it move. But holding liquid long-term is you're actually not even getting the benefit of holding that token. The only thing you're getting there is you're getting theoretical price appreciation, which isn't even guaranteed. But if you go T-shares, and especially the Quattro Cinco ones, the longer pays better bonus is miles away better than the bigger pays bonus, and it's so easy that anyone can do it as long as you have time. Guess we all have to? Because we all have time. So there's a lot of very interesting game theory surrounding who is in hex for how long, what your strategy is, what your size is, what you want to be at the end of the day. Like if you want to be a dolphin or a shark in 10 years, it's probably more possible than you think, especially if you count it in T-shares as opposed to just the pure number of hex.
I mean, it's way easier at 1 penny than it is at 50 cents. But
also that.
I mean, this is really all contingent on will hex go back up and break its all-time high? Because once it does, once hex hits $1, even when it hits 51 cents, it's like, let's look back in history. You could have literally bought at any single day at this theoretical future point in time and still been in profit.